Oh my God, it's Anna.
I know, right?
I haven't seen you in like a whole, what, 2 weeks?
You haven't seen me like in person for a very long time.
I know, it makes me very sad.
I know it makes me sad too. I even kind of hinted, hey, I saw a picture of you and like you're in the pool. I'm like, hey, I'll be down next weekend. Hint, hint. I didn't get
Why
the
didn't you just
invite.
show up?
Well, because I didn't know. I've heard, I know this might be news to you. I've heard it's a little crazy there with the COVID. So I
In
didn't
Florida,
know.
yeah, it's crazy
Yeah.
with COVID.
I didn't know if you were being COVID conscious. Ooh,
No, I
I
don't
like
care.
that. I like that term. COVID
COVID
conscious.
conscious.
Yes.
We wear masks everywhere.
Hmm.
And I was in Costco the other day, had a shirt on that said peace, love, and science. And this unmasked older gentleman just glared at me and kind of growled. I was like, whatever, I don't care.
Mm.
People are stupid. They don't want to wear a mask. The
Well, I mean, I was thinking if he growled, then how does that really kind of parlay with the theory of evolution? You should have said that. Wait a minute. Are you like really? And I think you're going to have that Neanderthal gene or something.
well, I think he was looking for the sheep dewormer at the same time he was growling at
Oh,
me.
well, maybe he
Yeah,
was borderline crazy. Get it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Costco doesn't
Yeah.
carry that. So, COVID down here has been fun. I
Hmm.
don't know if you heard, but the parents sued, including Demarius Allen, who we've got on the show, sued the governor, and the governor lost.
I did see that.
And he didn't lose totally, but what he lost was he can't make decisions for county school boards and health departments that are in the best interest of the students. That's not his role.
Okay.
And the other thing that I found interesting is the, and I don't know what the term for it is, but the judge told the Department of Education that they cannot, under penalty of fines, go after the school boards or the principals who did the mask mandate. And that was not an injunction, but it was something that was basically final, saying you can't ever do it, so just don't even try.
Hmm.
So that was pretty good. It was a small victory for parents down here and students.
Well, I mean, I think what they were doing, I would think, is just following the law, and there's nothing in the law that says that he has any control over it, nor can he threaten, to pull people's salaries or it's just the law, my friend.
I know. And, of
And
course,
wait, Sheila, isn't he actually an attorney?
yeah, he was a JAG officer,
And didn't he go to
Harvard.
Harvard? I thought he went to Yale.
You might have done Yale undergrad, Harvard grad, or the other way around.
So, okay.
You should know better.
Right. So what does that say about his law-based knowledge, I guess? Hmm.
That he had somebody take his exams?
I
I have
don't
no idea.
know. I don't
I have
know.
no idea.
Or they're just pandering to that extreme right, which apparently is paying off for them, even though that's
Yeah,
not the majority of people, which is really, really heartbreaking.
it's very
So,
heartbreaking. The good news, the bad news of COVID is that the crazy anti-vaxxers, there were 3 conservative talk show hosts,
mhm.
2 in Florida and 1 somewhere else, who were anti-vaccine, anti-mask, who had ended up on a ventilator in the hospital and died.
Well, I don't know if that's that's good news. I'm sad that they died. It's
I am
really,
too, yeah.
really very disappointing that how preventable it was. But,
It was very preventable. It's,
you know,
and people out there drinking sheep dewormer and bleach or whatever. It's a vaccine.
right.
As Aaron and I talked about last week, it's like people eat hot dogs and they don't know what's in a hot dog.
Sheila, it's their freedom. If people want to eat sheep dewormer, that's their right.
That's true.
Mhm.
That's true. Just like it was my freedom last week to have fried donuts for dessert.
Wait, well, aren't all donuts fried?
These
I
were double fried.
No, I think yes, okay, double fried. I think most donuts, that kind of how you make them is you
Yes.
fry them. Yes. Just pointing that out for you, Sheila. So double fried. You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
And cream cheese icing.
Very
Next
nice.
time you're down, we're going to have to go. It's called 7th and Grove. It's in Ybor, and they have the most amazing Southern cuisine ever.
They have that crepe place down in Ybor. It's in this little tiny little shop, and you would never see. Someone has to point it out to you. They have amazing crepes. We could get crepes and then donuts, and then have our calories for the entire week.
Oh my God. No.
It's our
At
right.
least
It's our right, Sheila.
it's all right.
It's our
I
right
can
to
eat what I
that.
want.
I can eat what I want.
Yeah. Although I don't think my new hip would appreciate eating what I want.
Oh, that hip. When are we gonna get over that?
It's so much better.
Is it?
Yes.
Because a couple of weeks ago, you were like, I can't believe I didn't have this surgery.
I know. Whole different change. We'll have to talk offline about that.
Yeah.
But the other news, I guess one bad and one okay. The hurricane came ashore and just slammed into Louisiana. Our thoughts are going out to those folks down there. And the last plane full of Americans left Kabul today.
Okay. Kabul?
Kabul?
I don't know. Well, I don't know which one's right. Maybe Adam can help us with that.
He might be able to.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty excited about our guest. We had him on last year when we first started.
We had him on last year. He's a wonderful guest. He can shoot the banter just, right along with us. So we're excited about that. And he's got a couple new things in the works, some things that he's working on, some things that we should all read up on. So
like his new book.
Well, that was my reference.
I know.
Yes. And speaking of books, you have a lot behind you, but I'm sure you could have room for just one more.
I can. And maybe at some point he'll actually autograph it from me.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe.
We'll have to find out.
Yep. Oh, here he is.
Here he is. Hey, Adam.
Hi, Adam.
Thanks for having me again. Good to see you guys.
Always good to see you.
Well, we're going to have to talk about your book called The Accidental Politician.
Right here. Got a copy.
The accident. Did you spell it? Is it spelled like how it sounds, or did you use some kind of funny euphemism? Because I think it's some accidental.
No, just accidental politicians.
Okay. Okay.
Just normal words.
Okay. Okay.
Good. Well, Adam, we've had you on our show a couple times when you were running for office, and unfortunately for us, which made us very sad, that you did not get elected, because it would have made so much more sense to have you in DC than whoever that other person is, Voldemort. But so tell us a little bit about the impetus behind your book.
Sure. Well, before the congressional run in 2020, and I was pretty heartbroken about it too. So there's more than one of us. I first ran for the state house in 2018. And when I first got into the race, I had absolutely no idea where to start, what to do, where to go, who to talk to. And there weren't really any resources of where to find that. So we were just kind of mulling around and figuring out on our own, because for some reason, candidates don't like to give up their secrets, so to say, or talk to new candidates about what to do or where to go. After the election, we were excited. We won. It was great. Some people within our Democratic Executive Committee and some of the clubs and caucuses asked if I would put down on paper, maybe just a handbook, some tips, some tricks of what to do to run. I always thought it was a good idea, but never got around to it. But then after the primary last year, I found myself with a bit of time on my hands. And, we had a really kind of interesting whirlwind campaign. We had little to no support from the state and from the county. Fundraising was difficult. We were expected to lose, but we flipped the district by 12 points. So my wife and I talked about it, and we figured I should write a book about it, not just as a handbook for how to get involved in not just like city council or mayoral or local or state house, senate, even up, there's some good lessons even for congressional campaigns. But, just a good way to get our story of that 7-month whirlwind campaign down on paper. So yeah, that was kind of,
you're giving away your secrets.
Yeah. I mean, why else be in public service? Why else run to do this unless you can help other people who have good hearts do it too?
That is such a wonderful response.
Oh, okay.
Well, what kind of helpful hints? I don't want to give the whole book away. What kind of helpful?
Or better yet, why don't you give us one helpful hint and one don't do this? That'd be
don't do this.
Wow. Well, don't do this is definitely don't look at the comments on your social media. I'm not kidding. My wife and I, we turned off notifications. We stopped looking because even just running for a state house race, there were people who started dedicated Facebook and Twitter accounts specifically to troll me and try to elicit a response. You're never going to win a Facebook argument, so don't even start or try. Just don't even look at it.
Did you hear that, Sheila? You're never
Yes,
going to
ma'am.
win. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
This is in a book, Sheila.
And nobody's mind has ever been changed by an argument, no matter how logical on Facebook. But some of the do's are just be everywhere. If there's your calendar comes up and you had 4 events the day before and you have 3 events on your schedule tomorrow and there's only 1 or 2, and even if they're small for you tonight, and even if you're tired, you know what, just suck it up and go. Be present and be available to everybody. Because if you win, that's how you want to be in office. You want to be available. If somebody reaches out to you, you want to be that elected official who is there, who writes back, who calls back, who's there engaging with your constituents. Because again, if you don't, why are you there?
I don't know. Maybe we could post that to some of our local elected officials that I keep sending emails to and never hear back.
You only get responses if something happens to your electricity.
That's right.
That's true.
Or if it's hey, you did a great job at this. Hey, yeah, thanks. Those are always the good ones to respond to, but you don't get those very often.
No, and I try to be, if somebody does something good and positive, I will try really hard to congratulate them or thank them, especially if it's a hard vote. Even just an email that says, hey, thanks, I know that vote was really hard for you and I appreciate it, goes a lot further than, you're a jerk, don't ever come over here.
It really does, and on the rare occasions that we got those emails, they really do make an impact. And if your elected officials really are worth their salt, they are reading these things that they get from their constituents. But yeah, those are much more memorable, and they really make it worthwhile, because some of those votes really, really are difficult. And taking a stand one way or the other, even if you're going to get kicked in the teeth. It's nice to when people understand that.
So, in looking forward to 2022, what's on the horizon for you? What are you working on? What are you thinking about? What are you getting involved with?
Well, I'm helping a few campaigns already. One, the special for Congressional District 20 here in Florida to replace the late, great Alcee Hastings. I'm helping out a former colleague of mine named Bobby DuBose. He's a great legislator, great guy. His morals are in the right place. So I'm helping him out, but that's going to be later. The primary is later this year. And the general is going to be in January. I think it's January 22. And then in the actual 2022 elections, another one of my former colleagues, Ben Diamond, is running in the Florida 13th, bless you, to replace Charlie Crist in Congress. Another great legislator. And he was, out of all the elected officials I got in touch with during my 2018 campaign, Ben was the only one who ever really went out of his way to help me. So I have a lot of love for Ben. And then I've already decided I'm helping Nikki Fried with her campaign for governor for 22.
Tell her that, she always has an open invitation to this show.
I will. I'll let her know.
So absolutely, we'd love to have her.
Absolutely. So when you volunteer to help these different campaigns, do you say, okay, here, you got to read my book and then I'll help you?
No. Ben bought a copy because he's a nice guy. He's mentioned in it. But no, there's no strings attached. If I'm bored to help you out, I'm going to help you out.
You haven't, read the book and then have a quiz afterwards. Okay, if I help you, remember, here's your dues and here's your don'ts.
On page whatever. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I think that your experience, your background too, is something that probably helped you with your first run. I think I'm claustrophobic, so being on a nuclear submarine, I don't think I could have made it into the sub, let alone stayed on it. And I'm sure that helped you kind of get out there and say, I can do this.
Yeah, definitely. I knew running was going to be difficult. But like other things I'd done in my life, I was on an NCAA national champion gymnastics team. I served on a nuclear submarine. I did a combat tour in Iraq. Every time there was a team with me and around me, and even though our campaign team was very small, it was mostly my wife and I and one or two other people. I knew I was going out there with a team, and like I said, running was going to be hard, but getting through power school and the nuclear program and going through a combat tour, I knew it wasn't going to be the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. So I think it definitely helped prep me to get out there and really kind of give it what it was needed.
So I think we talked a little bit about this on the show every now and then, but I think what was sorely missing, and I keep thinking that one day it's going to have a huge impact once they get involved, is how to get the younger folks, number one, voting, which I think they vote more than our generation. Well, we're the Xers. I don't know what Sheila is. She's a boomer maybe, but I don't, in terms of getting them involved, not only voting, but just involved in politics for that matter. What are your thoughts and what are you seeing out there as in the campaigns?
That really for us as Democrats is going to be the magic bullet, but we still haven't been able to crack really like 25 to 30% participation. Even in the last couple cycles, that 18 to 24-year-old group is still the smallest percentage voting group, even though they make up one of the largest possible groups. So if I do figure it out, I'm going to broadcast that one far and wide to all Democrats running, because that really will be an absolute game changer. I wish I knew the answer.
It's funny because I have 3 nieces who are under 30, and I keep asking them, how do you know who to vote for? What kind of research do you do? And all 3 of them said, my mom tells me. So, we've got to figure out a way to get them engaged and involved, because it's just so hard. They're looking at TikTok videos, and they're, out having drinks with their friends, and they're not talking politics. And it's just trying to get them to even think about it is difficult.
Or the other side of the spectrum, or if you have some very vocal younger people, and they have very good ideas, and they're out there, expressing those ideas, just getting them to vote.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just getting anybody involved is a lot harder. People need to realize that the farther down the ballot the candidate is, the more effect they're going to have on your actual life. Mm-hmm. Like the mask mandate in schools, that was a county commission thing. I know, I'm guessing you guys probably know who your county commissioners are, but ask 20 of your friends and I'll be surprised if one of them knows who their county commissioner is. Same with your state representative or state senator. Ask 20 of your friends. I'll be surprised if one of them knows who those people are. But they have the biggest effect on you, and especially for people in the younger generations, we have to step up. People 45 and younger, we make up the largest block of citizens in the U.S. and it's I almost hate to say it, but it's our turn. That boomer generation, they've been in charge for
Sheila
50 years, and it's our turn to step up. And once people realize that, once our generation realizes that, I think we're going to see a whole kind of generational shift. I hope.
Some of it happened, I think, after Parkland. You saw a lot of that generation, those high school kids getting involved, but it seems that they're single issue and they don't understand the connection between that issue and local politics. And I think that's the hardest thing to get them involved in.
Mm-hmm. That's very true. I mean, when I was 18, how many things were you when we were all 18, how many things were we thinking about? It's like, I want to graduate high school. I want to go to college. Like, who am I going to ask to the prom? So trying to figure out a lot of these issues is tough. And, another thing that we do as Democrats, we try to focus on 27 issues, where on the Republican side, I hate to admit it, but they are much better at communication than we are, because they focus on 2 or 3 things and just say it over and over and over again until you start hearing it from your friends in the grocery store, or you see friends that you never think would say something like that spout a Republican talking point online, because they just hear it over and over and over again, these 1 or 2 messages, and we're just shooting everything and they all miss. So we just have to be smarter about how we communicate, and that can get more people involved.
Right. Well, we're very excited about you getting involved in these campaigns and hopefully expressing some of these ideas and trying to move the needle over to get more participation, more voting, and more success from the Democratic Party. And so where's
And
your book? Yeah, plug your book, Adam. You have to hold it up. So
Yes,
people
hold
know.
the
Again,
Hold
here
the
it
book.
is. It's called
Here it is.
Accidental Politician, if I can hold it the right direction for
Yep.
the camera.
Yep.
It's available on Amazon.com, Target.com, Books a Million, Barnes and Noble, or it's on Kindle. Actually, the first week it was out, it was the #1 new release in political leadership on Amazon. So I was very excited about that.
That's great.
Good for you.
Yeah, thank you. And Sheila, you said if you ever see you in person, I'd love to sign it. I've done a couple of book signings locally, and we're hopefully going to be traveling around the state, especially as campaigns start ramping up and talking to more groups. Like I said, it's a great resource to kind of get an idea of what to expect. And politics it's a lot flatter than people think. If either of you have read it yet, there's a whole chapter where I was canvassing one morning, and the next thing you know, I found myself in a face-to-face with Joe Biden. Like it's very surprising how accessible some of these people can be to in any level of government.
Wow.
Well, I will tell you a funny story. My nieces grew up in Connecticut, and if you ever heard the book Flat Stanley, so they sent me Flat Stanley, and I went to their congressman's office in the United States Capitol, Rosa DeLauro, bless her heart, and I said, my nieces live in your district. Can they have a picture of you with Flat Stanley? Not only did they get a picture, she took Flat Stanley for the entire day and had her staff take pictures of where Flat Stanley went, and then sent them to my niece with a little letter saying, hey, thanks. Flat Stanley and I had a great time today in Congress. And I was just blown away.
Mm-hmm. See, and that's a story like not just you, but your niece are going to remember for the rest of their lives. Right. And it's the little things that people can do when they're in office to reach out and connect with their constituents that just make all the difference.
Right. Well, thank you for making a difference. We're looking forward to reading your book and future success with the campaigns that you're working on.
And we want you back. We want you back in office.
Oh, thanks.
Very
No, well,
true.
we're gonna see what the lines look like here in 2022 and what options we have. And like I said, I'm already helping out on some of these campaigns. As long as we can turn the state blue, both for the Senate race and for the governor's race. The last Senate race, it was 10,033 votes in 2018. That's a couple of high schools worth of kids deciding that they want to get involved across the state.
Right.
So we can really do this. So I'm gonna be out there trying to make it happen.
Thank you, Adam. We appreciate it.
Thank you for coming on the show again.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Okay.
Thanks. Oh,
I know. And here I'm just, working. I'm not, I should be more like Adam. Write a book, try to participate in the campaigns.
No, you should start working on campaigns.
That's what I mean. I should be doing that.
I know. Today came up on my Facebook feed that we were in our very first car parade a year ago. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
It seems like a long time ago, right?
I know. It seems like we've been doing this forever, but it's just been a year.
Wow.
And we've got a lot of work to do. I think reaching out to some of the younger people, Val Demings rides a Harley. I mean, if more people knew that Val Demings rode a Harley, maybe the kids would be engaged. I don't know.
I don't know.
I just think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I think she's cool all around. We need to get her on the show, and I need to see what she's doing to reaching out. I mean, I think as Adam, said, if we just get the younger people, we can really make a difference. So,
well, if any of our viewers have ideas, throw them in the chat.
Great idea. Great idea, Sheila.
Yeah, we'd love to hear it. And if you guys are out working with kids and they're involved somehow, let us know. We'll put them on the show too.
Excellent.
Yay. Well, it was so good to see you again. Next time you're back home, down here, call.
In COVID land.
Yeah, in COVID land, bring your bathing suit, swim at the pool.
Right. With my little gas mask because it's COVID land.
Oh, it's fine. It's the backyard. The only thing you have to worry about is the shooting range down the street.
Okay. All right. Well, so
every
good to
time
see
they
you.
start with their gunfire, it's like, ee.
Oh gosh.
Like
we're in Texas or something. Anyway.
Yeah, so we're going to take next week off, right? Because if it's Labor Day.
That's true. It's Labor Day. So thanks everyone for joining. If you have an idea or want to be on a show, please send us an email. Like, follow. We forgot to say like, follow, share.
Like, follow, share us, Cup of Joe with Ann and Sheila. Like, follow, and share Adam Hattersley.
Correct. Go buy his book.
Yes, buy his book.
It's on Amazon. He said it was at Target.com, I think.
Target, Amazon, Books a Million, which is at the mall.
Yes. So go buy his book.
Yeah.
Follow what he's doing. I think there's going to be some big things in his future. That's what I think. Tune in for our next show. Oops. With that,
your lights went off.
It happens when I don't move, and then I move like this, and sometimes it goes back on, and sometimes it doesn't. And so people just see me rocking back and forth and think I'm.
You're like, oh, the new kid's weird.
I know, right?
Well, Anna,
I'm gonna have lunch with her. Oh,
all I have is a bottle of water. But to Ruth,
and look, you know what? I'm in Carolina now, so I have to deal with Pepsi products.
I love Pepsi. I don't stop.
Well, okay. No, I'm a Coke girl. To Ruth.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye,
See
everybody.
you soon. Bye.